Hello, sheeple. Weird way to start the video. Is this shirt too much? Feels like it might be a little too much. I don't know. Well, it's what I'm wearing. Hello everyone, my name is Iris. If you haven't seen my videos before, consider subscribing and stick around for more. That rhymed. I'm a songwriter. What can I say? Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the COVID-19 test because I got it last week and I got my results. So I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the process of why I got it, how I got it, what that was like, and then my test results, which might be already obvious, but we need to talk about that a little bit too because my doctor had some extra information that's actually super important and not a lot of people know. So a couple weeks ago, I broke quarantine to make a short film with some people in Seattle, and we went out to the coast to film, and we also filmed a little bit in the city, but for the most part we were confined to our group of people, filmmakers and the actors, and we just worked with that and we tried to social distance, but you know, that was honestly a pretty irresponsible thing to do, and I'm gonna acknowledge that. You probably shouldn't do what I did. So I got a little taste of hot girl summer working on this project, but I knew that it would be really irresponsible if I didn't get a test after working on it, especially because a testing center is like available near me and there's a volunteer group doing testing in my town. So once I got back to my town, I contacted my doctor and told her about what happened. I went and I saw a group of people and we tried to be socially distanced and no one was showing any symptoms or anything. So I wanted to get a test so that if I was positive, I could let anyone in the group know as soon as possible. But what she told me about the test is that if you're asymptomatic and you go get the nasal swab test, there's a 50% chance of a false negative if you do have it. That's really important information that I haven't actually seen pretty much anywhere, and that's what my doctor told me. So basically, if you get tested and it comes out negative, that doesn't really mean too much about whether or not you have it because you could be asymptomatic and not get a positive result. So my doctor called it in to this volunteer group and said, okay, this person's gonna come get a test from you. So I contacted them and made an appointment. And basically it was a drive-up testing situation. And mind you, I have not driven a car since January. So it had been 6 full months since I had driven a car. And I parked for the first time in front of these people, and I parked terribly because I hadn't driven this car in 6 months. And I didn't quite know where they want me to park. So by the time I had to park, it was too late. This is a really weird tangent. We're gonna get back to the actual testing. So I drove up, I showed them my ID through the car window, and then I drove to this little testing station where there were 3 observers. So there were 3 different people in front of me and to both sides observing me do the test. So they wheeled up this bag next to my car window and I rolled down my window and I grabbed the bag out, and then basically I administered the test myself. They gave me specific directions on what to do. So basically you take a cotton swab, you stick it up to the back of your nose and leave it there for 15 seconds and then do a little squiggly, and then you put it in your other nostril and do the same thing. And I'm really glad I was able to administer this test on myself because I could like enter my nose slowly, you know? So it was actually a very like comfortable experience physically, even though I was being watched on 3 sides, and I was so shy because I was also filming all of this and I was having a little bit of trouble with my camera equipment, and I didn't want to take time to set it up in front of these 3 people, so my angle is really bad and I'm sorry about that. So after I took the Q-tip out of my nose, I put it in this little vial that they gave me and then put on my mask and got out of the car and dropped it in this collection box, and then I drove away. It took like 5 minutes to do. So besides the like 3 people like staring at me as I did this, it was a really comfortable experience and very easy, which I feel very lucky about because in a lot of places for a lot of people it's not really accessible. I know this camera angle wasn't bad, but I was nervous and there were like 3 people watching me. That was actually super easy. The fact that they let me do it myself, I think, made it a lot more comfortable. I was driving away. I was on a high from having had vague social interaction with people besides my family and from having driven a car for the first time in months. And then I waited for a couple more days to get my results, and I got an email from my doctor and my results turned out negative. So basically that means either I don't have it or I'm asymptomatic and I might have it. But I think that I probably don't because nobody else in the group has reported any symptoms. So we managed to come away safe, which I am very grateful for, because this project kind of helped my soul return to my body. So I'm glad that we were able to do it in a safe way. However, looking back, it wasn't particularly responsible of any of us. And I want to acknowledge that and make that known that I'm aware of that. I posted set pictures from the film on my Instagram if you want to follow me to see a little bit of what we were filming. I also want to talk a little bit about what my college has decided to do in the fall. As of now, what they've told us is happening, because a lot of schools, especially large schools, are just moving to online for next semester, but my school has decided to resume in-person classes. You will probably see some videos from me on campus during this pandemic, and it's gonna feel a lot different and look a lot different than, you know, the typical college experience. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I am really nervous and anxious about it, because I feel like we're gonna be in classes for like a month or something, and then they're gonna be like, oh no, this was actually a super dangerous decision, and they're gonna send everybody home again. That's just my fear. So that was my experience with the COVID-19 test. If you are able to get tested and you may have been exposed, I urge you to go get tested. And if you're able to stay home, I know a lot of people can't because they have to work, please stay home. Don't go out to eat in restaurants. You're endangering people. You're endangering service workers by going out to eat, because they don't really have a choice but to be there. And you do. I know in a lot of places, businesses and restaurants are opening back up, but that's not actually a good reason to be going. Stay safe and keep the people around you safe. All right, that's it. I will see you in the next one. I'm having a weird time filming this. I don't know why. I'm just not really excited about it. You know, I thought I was about to say something intelligent, and no.